Hello, folks. John Shinholser here, live from the McShin Foundation in Richmond, Virginia. I want to welcome everybody to our today's podcast. Today is a special day in two different ways. One is today, August 31st, is International Overdose Awareness Day. All over the world, really, folks are bringing attention to overdoses taking place. And also today is the 39th birthday of Dane Canter, who passed away just August 12th of this month from an overdose. And with us today is his family, his mother, his two brothers, and his daughter. And we're going to have a very frank, open conversation about the need to bring awareness to overdoses, as well as, any healing we can find in today's podcast. But I figure we just let the folks introduce themselves. So I'll start with Mitch, since he's the closest one to my right.
Yeah, I'm Mitch, Mitchell Canter. I'm Dane's youngest brother. 32 years old. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me, and I'm here with you.
Well, we're glad to hear.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
Yeah. Hey,
glad you
thanks.
can find reason to smile.
Yeah,
man.
hey, come on now.
People see my face, they usually frown. They don't smile. And on my left, I got Dan's mother,
Yep.
Cheryl.
Cheryl Canter, Dane's mom. Proudly say so.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not telling you my age.
Well, how much you weigh?
That's worse.
A lot of times they tell you your age really quick when you ask them the weight. And you are Lane.
Lane, Dane's daughter, 17. Been live with him in the house for the past 2 years. So
Good. Well, we're glad you're here. It takes a lot of courage to come here and
thank you.
talk about these things. And last but not least is brother Randy.
I'm Randy. I'm Dane's middle brother, and 33. And man,
You one of y'all was the closest brother, or one was closer than the other.
we're both pretty
Oh,
close. I just
very
lived with them for
In
the past 2 months.
Right.
Different ways.
I got
Yeah,
you. I got
different ways for sure.
Well, I met Dane. He came through McShin several years ago. I'm terrible with dates.
2017?
17.
Something like that, yeah.
But I do remember when he came, he stayed 3 months maybe, or
Oh, yeah.
three,
He
4
stayed a
months.
long time.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
almost a year, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Between Echo Flats and everything.
Yeah.
So he came here, then he stepped
He
up
liked
to
it.
Echo.
He
And,
wanted to stay.
so he was in recovery at least about a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I remember he's a sweet boy, man. He was just the nicest, sweetest.
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't hurt a fly, man. I mean,
That
Not a
damn
bad
laugh
dog.
of his, man, it's infectious.
I
You
mean-
could hear it from down the hall.
I remember we kicked it a couple times. One time we must have talked for an hour. It seemed like it, but I remember thinking, Jesus, the boy don't. You first look at him, you don't think that's such a soft, intelligent, compassionate
Right.
kid inside, but it's like, holy shit! Every topic we hit on,
Uh-huh.
I was a believer in.
Yeah.
It's like by the time you get up, you felt like he was one of your best friends you grew up with.
Yeah, very.
Just an amazing young man, and I know he had trouble with the court system.
Correct.
When we shot that little video, I feel like he got screwed. He's one of
Yeah.
those people that fell through the cracks for sure.
Yeah.
And I really think that it don't help these kids. First time charge, right?
Yeah, he'd never been in trouble.
Never been
That
in
was his
trouble.
first time.
A day in his life.
Yep.
He
Not even a speeding ticket.
No.
right.
Perfect.
And they had an overdose.
Yep.
And then they charged him with internal possession.
Yeah, it sucks.
And as a result of that, he got convicted.
Yep.
He did everything the courts asked him prior to the case.
Right up to it.
Right, and then the judge still convicted him and gave him a felony.
Yep.
And a 5 yeyear.
And the buddy he was with, who called the ambulance,
Yeah.
got charged as well.
Did that get dropped? Because
No.
because we had a. See, I wish I knew about that, because we had a safe reporting law in effect back then
Really.
that you could have done affirmative defense. But this is an area where law is just way out of control.
Yeah.
They overstepped their boundaries, I think, and but then they made it difficult. Took his driver's license
Mm-hmm.
and made him attend some crazy ass court
Yep.
Man,
classes
Yeah,
and
he was
shit.
always on time.
Just made it impossible to get through.
Yeah.
The kid with the year clean and sober.
Yep.
He goes to court, gets convicted, and still has to go to these outpatient programs that the court
Mhm.
made him go to without a driver's license.
Yeah.
So That's why advocacy is so important. That's why it's so important that we educate policymakers. So why are you making these laws? Don't you realize it had the complete opposite effect?
Yeah.
And look what it did to the family. It didn't help his family none.
Not at all.
You guys are here without your brother, your father, your son. And that was a time where if we'd have treated addiction like a healthcare issue instead of a criminal justice issue, we might have had a better outcome. We could be singing them happy birthday right now.
Would have been nice. Yeah.
Well, I know you got a lot of feelings. So when you first heard your son passed away, what were you thinking? Mom, I'll go to you.
It was 5 a.m. and Lane called me to tell me, and I basically just screamed a primal scream.
Yep.
And I just didn't want it to be true. And I felt like he had really tried so hard, to keep it together. And
so Lane, you found out before your mama.
Yeah. Night before normal, I had to go to work in the morning and said goodnight to him around 12. Said he loved me, and then I woke up. Ambulance was there, and my roommate came in my room to tell me just to stay in my room. And then cops came in, told me what happened, and I had to call Meemaw. I had to go downstairs before they did any rearranging of them.
because there was 2.
Yeah, it was his best friend as well,
So-
Adam Henderson, and they were both on the stairs, and I had to come down around them and sit on the couch, and they told me what happened. And then they made all of us stay there till 9 a.m. because it was a crime scene. And they wouldn't let us leave. They wouldn't let us go in the house. We just were standing on the streets for 4 hours because it was a crime scene and they had to investigate it.
So you're in your home with your dad. He overdoses and dies, and the police show up and they treat like a crime scene.
Yeah.
Everybody out.
Everybody out. They made you stand outside on the street for 4 hours while they did this investigation.
Yeah, and I still couldn't go in my house. They made me leave after that. So I had to go to my mom's.
Well, that's almost pathetic.
Yeah. It was hard.
What was the big crime?
That there were drugs involved, basically. They had to search the entire house.
Did they find a bunch of drugs and scales and guns and
Nope.
it was bullshit?
It was. Investigated all of us for hours just to let us.
Just 2 adults and from what I understand, they were was it like crack that was laced with fentanyl or coke, or do we know?
We don't know yet.
They were out to get crack, but settled on dope.
What they could get.
Yeah.
And there was the way that, so our first roommate, Chris, he woke up early in the morning because he gets up for work early. And he saw Narcan on the counter that was unpackaged, and walked by the stairs and saw the shadow and saw him and called the ambulance.
Almost like they knew they were in trouble.
Yeah, there was
Or
open
for
caps of
safety
it.
issues, just have it out. Like if we're gonna do some dope,
It was
put out.
Right.
open and used on next to them.
Okay.
Well, I just want to shout out to some folks tuning in. Sarah Thrower, War on People, how they to progress, work, live. I can't quite make that out. Megan Maloney, happy birthday, Dane. They tried so hard to keep you down. You are a beautiful soul. I will miss you. Yes, he was, and we will miss him. Robert Legg's a strong advocate. He's working hard right now to come up with some good legislation to present to lawmakers, reclassify drug possession from felony to misdemeanor like they do in Portugal.
Yeah.
And I see Kim, she's out near Danville. So sorry for your loss. Yeah, I tell you what, this is one of those situations where I'm asking the family. That's why I'm glad you agreed to come here. I really want to turn this pathetic policies we have here in Virginia, not only on the way we treat addiction, it should be treated as a healthcare, not a criminal justice issue.
Yep.
But yet when you die in your house and your daughter finds you, they shouldn't treat you like an accessory to a crime. They should treat you like a grieving child, which is what you are, and add insult to injury the way they handle the scenes. And, most of these deaths, overdose deaths, I would surmise 95%, maybe more. I really don't know. This might be a good area to try to research and find out how many scenes where the great crime capers and mass amounts of drugs. I haven't seen one drug kingpin yet overdose where they found a ton of dope.
No.
It's always a user, a consumer. And it just, what were your thoughts,
Well,
Randy, when you first just?
It broke my heart. I just got off work, and honestly, I was supposed to be picked up by Adam Henderson, who he passed away with, and we hung out. I was living with him for 2 months, and we both were good because I'm an addict as well, but we were trying to work off each other to stay on the straight and narrow, and he did really fucking good. And I didn't see any steps leading up to that, which made it even harder.
It was probably just a compulsive moment. Let's go get something. Let's get high.
That was the thing. He was supposed to come pick me up from work. We were going to hang out, have some beers, but they're already been drinking all day. And I ended up going out with some friends, some cooks, and hung out there. And I remember texting Adam. I was like, man, I wish I would have came with you guys. And I never got a response. And usually he responds very quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I knew something up. And then an hour later, I get a call from Chris, the other roommate. And I fell to my knees. It was just unreal.
Just terrible all the way.
I never
around.
thought we promised each other, and it hurt that much more because he's my best friend and my brother. So
correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I hear that one was trying to Narcan the other? Or?
Yeah.
Adam to my dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they were positioned, we kind of assumed.
So Adam, I heard he died on top of Dane. Like Dane might have gone out first.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was 2 open caps right next to them.
Right. Well, sad. Mitch,
Absolutely.
thoughts?
I mean, I know as my brother here is going through his own thing, I'm very happy that you didn't end up being there.
Yeah, me too.
Because as spontaneous as they are, I can hear them. Let's get some crack. Let's get some
Yeah.
crack.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always like innocent when it's funny, but this is really what happened. And I'm glad you weren't there because you're
been another casualty.
Exactly.
I see my good friend Melissa McCartney. She asked, "What crime was being investigated? Homicide?
That's what they
Overdose
said
by accident?
Right.
I did feel some compassion for the police that day, though, that morning, because I realized that they had to do probably 4 or 5 more of these today.
Right.
Well,
And as much as they were doing their job, I was like, I couldn't be an officer and watch that every day.
Did they send a crisis intervention expert out?
I'm
A
not.
therapist, a counselor?
They sent a detective. That was about it. But the police officer who came into my room that morning to tell me what happened, I saw him yesterday, and he was really sweet and apologetic. And
So it's hard on the cops, is what I'm hearing. They got bad laws. They got to go out there and enforce bullshit policies.
Exactly.
So
They're just doing their job, which
so it falls on the lawmaker, the
Yeah,
General
exactly.
Assembly member. This is it. It's the congressional members and the General Assembly members. The
Mhm.
people who make the law are putting this pressure and undue burden on not only the first responders and our law enforcement, but the consumer, the citizens, the people in the community. We got to redo this.
Have to.
yeah, at first they asked if it was a homicide to me, and I didn't even know what was going on. It made me get out of the house before they moved their bodies and everything. I had to climb over Dad.
Yeah.
And then the first thing they're doing is talking to me, making me I couldn't go see my grandma. They made me stand there and talk to them first. And Mima had pulled up, and I was like, "Can I please go see her?" And they were like, "No, we have to finish." I had to sign forms for them to search my house. That was their first priority.
And you're 17 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you
That's gonna
think
17-year-old
Do you think
do that.
once you're convicted of a drug thing that you're kind of put in your place, they're going to keep you there with
Well, it's a
fines?
scarlet letter for life, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's society
So
don't.
what's the motivation?
That's that. I think because drugs is a black market, it makes the black market billionaires out of drug dealers, cartel, but it also created a legal industry that goes after black markets. So as long as we keep drugs illegal like we do, you'll always have special interests.
Mm-hmm.
The DEA will constantly want more money and more power. All the industrial prison complex, the criminal justice system, from prosecutors to defense attorneys to probation, parole, it's industry.
And
17% of our economic industry is centered around poorly managed addiction in America.
Yeah, I feel like
according to a guy named Boyko down in West Palm Beach in 2007.
they need to be educated themselves on what's actually going on.
Well, that's the purpose of this podcast. We're right here, do some educating here.
That's what I feel. If they had to live it and deal with it, maybe they'd have a different idea of what actually is going on in this world today.
Well, Diane, Paul, how can we make change? It's just you got to get involved, man. When you watch this podcast, just shoot it out to people you think might be interested. Here's what I think is a strong American family.
Yeah.
Okay. In the face of tragedy and loss, you're stepping up.
Yeah.
We're going to be a face and voice of tragedy right here.
I'm right in front line.
We lost our loved one, our son, our brother.
This doesn't know any race, age, financial.
Anything.
People think it's just somebody off in the shadows, but
it eats you alive.
It's somebody's child every time.
Somebody's child, somebody's good kid, somebody's dad, somebody's brother.
We had a different relationship with him, me and you.
Yeah.
You guys, I was hard on him, and he would kind of say "fuck you" to me, and then
you were the hard ass.
That's an endearing term, though, man. You hear that? You're gonna get something good.
Mitchell was always the one who's like, knock that shit off, boys. And me and Dane were like, off in the corner, like, hey man, you want to go get some? And we were terrible, toxic twins,
Yeah, and we'd always talk about. The biggest excuse was, well, our family, our uncles, everyone did it. This is what we're meant to do. And to be honest, it scared me a lot.
Yeah,
as a kid, so I picked weed to be addicted to, because I was like, if I'm gonna be addicted to something and it's in my blood, then I'm gonna be addicted to that. And of course, it's bullshit. But that whatever that was scared the hell out of me, because I would never try some of the shit that them toxic twins did, and you guys would scare the hell out of me to the point. Yeah, I'd run away from you guys, and I love you.
And I'm glad you did.
It was fucking terrifying, but it also hurt too. It also hurts to stand around and watch your brothers glorify this dumb shit, and it hurts my feelings. And then it's just like,
Randy, you picking up what Mitch is putting down? This is a family meeting right here.
I understand.
He's making it real clear that
You just didn't know that.
You don't want to lose you, man. You need to tighten up.
I mean, trust me.
This don't get no better in this.
Man, it's been a huge eye opener, and I've been clean for about 2 years now, and I've had some slip ups here, but this is just put it in perspective. I'm going to therapy. I'm on medicine. I'm doing everything I can to just keep that. I'm always going to be an addict. I know that in my heart, but I need to take these steps to better myself, for my family, and more importantly for me.
Hey,
if I don't do it for me, then I can't be there for the rest of my family.
Yeah, I just celebrated 38 years clean and sober, but I'm more addict today than I ever was.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't
get easier.
Yeah, the addiction goes nowhere. Matter of fact, my disease has gotten progressive in this time, even though I'm not using. But I want to drop back. See, Melissa made a good comment up there. What the F? We need a CIT team at the scene of every overdose death to rapidly connect family members with appropriate bereavement counselors and, of course, law enforcement who are witnessing trauma over and over and over. Yep. God damn it, Lane.
God damn it.
My memory goes bad all of it. But wouldn't it have been nice? Here you are, you're losing your father. Number one tragic day of your life, I'm surmising. Yeah. And even though your grandma shows up, you couldn't even go give her a hug. They treated you like you were a co-conspirator in some caper that never existed.
Yeah.
It'd been nice to have a trauma therapist there or somebody to help you bereave. And
honestly, like at that moment, you don't even know.
You're in shock. You're numb. You're in shock. You're doing what you're told. They could have led you to the slaughter right there.
Yeah.
You'd have followed them.
So many people since it's happened have been reaching out to me, and I appreciate it all so much. But I just behind a lot of it is so much stigma and pity, more like, oh yeah, that sucks that happened. We feel bad, but there's so much. I've always been proud of my dad. He worked so hard.
A lot to be proud of, man. He's a great dude, man.
But the thing is, he worked so hard, and so many people don't realize that not everybody recovers. Majority of people don't. Yeah. This happens so much. And I think that there needs to be that stigma removed, because it is an illness. It's not something that people can just drop because they know it's bad. It's a sickness, and I'm proud of my dad for trying.
Well, you gotta be. I mean, because most folks probably wouldn't have gone that far, or done that much, you know. And you know, I went to the memorial service, and I was very honored to be able to say a few words.
I appreciate you being
course.
there.
Me too.
But the people showed up. He had so many friends. I'm not sure he realized how much he was loved and how many friends he had. And it was an exceptionally colorful memorial service, I would add.
Yes,
He was, he brought the pack with him.
He would have been proud of the service, I believe.
Absolutely.
But you know, and you just 2 weeks into this.
Yeah.
And it's still got to be raw, and you know, Mom, you're going to be suffering for a while. I know.
Really hard. I have to
I
thank
can't believe
you
you're
because
here. Yeah, good job.
the thing is this is the place that Dane always said he felt safe and calm and
Happy.
good. And when I was at my wit's end, I reached out to you just because I felt like I needed to be here.
Yeah.
And so this is something that I'm really passionate about.
Dane liked McShin. He felt safe.
He
Loved
loved
it.
it.
Yeah.
He would
Said he
always
was
call
coming
me.
back.
Yeah, he was happy here.
He got a new. I remember when I know I met you with him.
Yeah.
Were you with us that night?
No, I stayed away for a little while. Like I said, us together was bad. So I knew if he needed to get sober, I needed to be.
Because I got to go out with the brothers.
Oh yeah.
We got to eat out,
Yeah.
and it's like 5 or 10 of us, and between these guys, you can't see this on the podcast. There must be about 5,000 tattoos between this crew.
Yeah.
And I ain't got the first one, but I felt so much like my own family.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I couldn't believe it. It was just amazing time out. I really appreciate that a lot.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
actually.
For sure. To watch the it's kind of, I feel it in my blood, and I've seen the addiction through people I love. So I've observed it, taken it in, and soaked it in kind of as a sponge. And I have my own things going on too, but I see with Dane and Randy, my brothers, when we talk really close, it would be a kind of like a roller coaster. You're either down or really up.
Yeah.
And Dane here was the most up
Ever.
His high almost was just to help people. That's what he kind of switched it over. So
Absolutely.
he would start helping people to occupy his time. He's like, man, I'm doing all this shit for free. I don't even care. I love it.
Yeah. You know,
I love it. I'll help anybody in a minute.
well, that's the hit. That's the hope shot right there. Because the truth is, the recovery high is much greater than the drug get high.
Absolutely.
But it takes a minute to get there. You know,
Yeah.
it might take a year or two to really get in that zone.
Yeah.
I feel like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
Well, that's
that's
what happens with, that's what I was saying, the roller coaster thing. I know in my blood, when I'm up, when I'm reaching my peak, I'm almost looking forward to fucking it up a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm
right
bored.
there.
Oh, we all do, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you get bored with it, you know? And,
well, you got 5 feelings: mad, bad, glad, sad, and afraid. And you know, you gotta feel glad to make the sad worthwhile, and the sad to make the glad worthwhile.
Right.
That's life cycle of feelings and emotions.
I like that you can put it out on that chart, because I've been trying to figure that out for a
Yeah,
minute.
no shit.
I paid $25,000 to get that, man. I went to therapy for 5 years, and after 5 years, the woman laid it out for me. Mad, bad, glad, sad.
That's all you needed to do.
Why you tell me that the first day I was here, man?
I think we're done here. Figured it out.
Done. Mic drop.
Sounds like a tattoo to me.
Lane, I'm sorry we're having fun, man.
No, it's totally cool.
I see you up in your head there.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane would love this.
Now, Dane was like
He would
that.
really
This would be right up his alley,
Oh, yeah.
man.
We were,
And I
we were
kept telling people, I was like, he doesn't want a funeral, just go like party a little bit, you know? That's what he wants to celebrate it.
Yeah.
And he really was.
or just not to be a burden on anybody.
Yeah.
That was always his thing, and he would definitely hide and get in his own head.
Yeah.
We're our worst enemy.
And
Addicts are their worst enemy, no question about it.
he called me not too long ago, and he was coming down, and he was looking for a place to kind of disappear.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you know, you come to my house, and we set all this up. And I asked him that day, I was like, do you want to die? Because he was just hitting me with all this negative shit. And I asked him, and he honestly told me yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, so where are you at in your head right now? He's like, I'm coming down. I want to get out of it. And I was like, well, come over tomorrow. And then I never heard from him. And it was like, damn, my brother just said that to me. Like, honestly, you know, and then I see him the next week. Then we have a barbecue the next week, and we're talking about how good it feels to put yourself out of the shit and help somebody else. Like, it's the best thing. just get out of your own ego. You're doing drugs by yourself. I mean, you think you're doing something, but it's terrible. And like we really our main thing is we agreed that when you kind of take yourself away from yourself and help other people, it's just better shit happens.
More gratifying.
So, it's almost better to help out somebody else if you can't really figure out how to do it yourself.
It takes it away from yourself.
And puts you in that category of people who need to get help. So maybe that all helps.
He also would, he always said that it's like, he goes, it's the strangest thing. It's like the more that I put out there, the more comes back to me. He's like,
but proof it was like that. It was like that.
Yeah.
And he was, it's always going to be a struggle no matter what, no matter how long you've been recovering. Cause I remember I had just come home that Monday from Florida from like a little trip, and he was so excited to see me, brought me out to the backyard and showed me his bonsais that he had like taken in half, and showed me all the work around the house that he's so proud that he'd been doing. He'd been working to like fix up the house, make it look nice. And then it was normal. It was really good. And it just happened like out of nowhere.
Yep.
I didn't see it. And
None of us did.
Just a bad idea turned into a tragedy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it in the back of my mind for a long time, and I've had it in the back of, and I hate to say that. I hate to say it, but some of the conversations we've had, it's pretty dark. The same with my father. You know, it's just And I hate that.
Is your dad around?
No, he passed away at 53.
Yeah, 53.
53.
October 9th.
And he was a user. He was a rock and roller.
Oh yeah.
And they always kind of glorified it. Where's the drugs at, son?
Oh,
right,
and that's kind of where it all started, I believe.
Which was cool. Cool to it's cool. And as we're growing up, we realize it's like, no, that's fucking sad.
Yeah, you only see I only saw like the glorified parts of it. You know, I never saw the down part. And I think that's where a lot of our addictions like kind of started, was with the glorification of it without any real consequences.
Yeah,
you know?
Fuck the man.
Exactly. And it just kind of adapted and turned into, all fun and happiness. But then once you get on that shit and you realize it fucking sucks, having to live your life chasing something that doesn't ever
has no value and only destroys everything close to you and everything you love.
You don't see that when you're under
it.
You don't see it, and then until
that's the big lie,
Yeah, this is the good time.
He always glorified it as like a fun thing, but also my mom also was a user for a really long time in and out of jail, and that showed me kind of like from a very young age that this isn't what I wanted to be.
Yeah, she's been dealing with it for a long time.
And then I moved in with my dad. And he hid it from me a lot better because he really cared about me, and he always tried to make sure I was safe. I was with Meemaw for a long time while he was struggling, and then about November 2018 we moved into our house together, and it was the first time I had lived with him in a while, and it was nice. And he was sober. He'd just come out of McShin, and he was doing great. He had a car. He was driving to work. I got a job with him. Yeah, he was doing awesome. I worked with him every day. He got me a job at where he worked, and it slowly turned into the downfall. I think was he broke his leg in January, at the end of January, and he kind of became in this hole. He refused to take any like prescription drugs other than like Tylenol, but that caused him pain. He was stuck in the house. He lost a lot of his normal income. And
do you think COVID played a role?
That's what sucked him. But it was like first the leg break, so he was in the house, and then COVID hit, so he was continuously in the house.
So bored addict. It's coming.
Bored, not making money like he used to.
Nothing worse.
He felt low because he wasn't helping the house.
You don't feel like a man if you ain't out there producing.
Yeah, exactly. And he fell back into that hole where he was drinking more, and
drinking turned into bad decisions.
Yeah,
that's why the one's too many, 1,000 never enough of anything. You know, I stopped using the 23. I mean, I had a lot of game left in me, man. But I knew, I got that in my brain early on. I can't have not one beer, not one bong hit, not one hit of acid. Just one is too many, 1,000 never enough, and just suffer through the pain. And then a few years go by, then you're chasing life and you're loving it. And you don't miss it.
Right.
And that's a good thing. I was sitting there thinking, I've been doing this a while now, being full-time, working with families and newcomers and addicts, and I've been to I guess thousands of memorials over the years, over 38 years. It's just a lot. But I don't ever recall having a conversation with the family 2 weeks after a tragedy like this. I mean, this is, to me, is one of those almost like a bucket list item of mine. I didn't know I had, we have a grieving family that, by God, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We're going to share our thoughts. We're going to make sense of this, and we're going to improve our community through these conversations. But at the same time, I'm seeing some family healing taking place.
Oh
here.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing,
We've always been open.
I can see some sharing taking place
We're
here.
really, really, really close family,
Yeah.
and not because
clearly,
we
man.
have to be, but we just
We just
really
love each other.
Well, that
love
comes
each other.
from mom, probably.
Oh,
you
yeah.
raised your children.
Dad was
She's
my
a rock,
best friend.
man. She's a
Dad,
rock.
he was my favorite person. My best friend came to him with anything. He told me the truth. Like he treated me like an individual, not like his kid that he had to teach and mold and make
Yeah.
me do things. Like he saw me as my own person, and he wanted to help me grow into whatever I wanted to be. And
And you know right
I-
from wrong, right?
yeah, I have so much respect and love for him. Though he was my favorite person.
Now, do you think your dad wants you to be an addict?
No, I know
Okay.
he doesn't. He always told
So
me that
you
I'm too
remember
smart
that
for
if
it.
when you get
Oh.
tempted to use drugs,
I can't.
You,
I
say,
don't
look,
think I'd ever be tempted. It's
you
kind
call
of
your
traumatizing.
uncle or your meme say, look.
No, he raised me smart. It's
Yeah, you're too smart for that shit.
I really He told me I was bound for better things.
Yeah. There's nothing
Agreed.
cool about this shit.
There's nothing
Yeah.
cool about it.
Well,
At least
this,
he told
this,
you the truth.
You
this
see
is
what
the,
it-
the new generation, showing you that it's not fun. The
No.
one before us, it was all fun and shit. But now you're seeing,
I've got a whole
This
life
shit
I want to
sucks.
lead. I don't want to die at 38.
yeah,
And it was a total accident. I mean, the day before, he's
On top of
on
the world,
top of
talking
the
about
world.
Right?
shit.
On
Yeah.
top of the world.
That's how this disease gets you, though, man.
Yep.
It'll hit
Yeah,
you when you
this-
least expect
Yep.
it. Put your guard down.
Yep.
That disease is doing push-ups right now. It's just waiting
Mhm.
for that moment of weakness, and it'll come at you.
oh, scary.
So, y'all know these folks up there?
Hannah, hi Hannah, I love you.
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
And
Megan,
Carmela, yeah.
Glenn. There's my brother, Diane Poole.
everybody.
All our
Yeah,
people.
all of them. Yeah.
Hannah.
And
Hi.
go back to what Melissa asked. So, John Shinholser, what does Dane's family wish to see change based on their current experience? So, what do you changes?
I don't want it
What's
to be-
broken? What needs to be
I don't want it
changed?
to be treated as a felony, as a you broke the law. It's a you need help. It's a healing process, not a throw you in
It's a
jail.
healthcare issue, not a criminal justice
Exactly,
issue.
and it's that's what's making it a bigger and bigger hole, is because people aren't getting the help that they need. They treat them like it's a normal crime.
If I'll give you a little classroom study. Study up on prohibition.
Yeah,
And you'll realize during prohibition, when they outlawed manufacture and sale of alcohol, the big thing takeaway was they didn't learn from it. It was bad law. It created a black market. It made
Mhm.
gangsters out of punks. But the
Oh,
consumer was it wasn't against the law to drink alcohol in your house or
Right.
consume it in your house. You just couldn't buy it or sell it.
Yep.
So here we are years later. They're outlawing a drug that people obviously want to use, but now they've felonized the use of it inside your house.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous. So they not only did they not learn, but they doubled down on the ignorance.
Mhm.
So you spoke to the criminology of it, which was great in the healthcare side. So let's go around the table here. Thoughts on what we think needs to be changed. It can be the same thing, I guess, but
Yeah, I mean, from the top down, just education. I mean, I think it really boils down to
real education, not
Yeah.
Kool-Aid drinking bullshit
No,
education.
it needs to be done because it's an obvious epidemic. I mean, and I don't see anything happening since this. I don't see any change. I don't see anything like trying to improve. All they're doing is
Very little.
just making more Narcan.
Yeah.
Making money off Narcan instead of actually helping people on this shit.
Yeah.
Just trying to save their life, but save their life a different way. Get programs and education, and I mean, it boils down to just wise up.
I'm gonna give every one of y'all a little cheat sheet, okay? Just do what McShin wants y'all to do. Okay?
Yeah.
Use the McShin model.
McShin plug.
Yeah,
I mentioned
Plug it right.
reimbursed for recovery support services provided by authentic peers in the community,
Yeah.
the non-government organizations.
Yeah,
I
people will
mean,
understand.
that's important because You won't
Mhm.
catch a bureaucrat agency having this conversation.
Not at
The hell would freeze over first.
Say everything else but this.
Yeah. Oh, we
beat
need
around the bush.
we need more law enforcement. We need more jails. We need more POs. We need
More
more
money.
courtrooms.
Yep.
Mom, what would you like to see change?
I don't know if it's so much of a change, but for me, I think it's important that people see what this looks like in
Very
all
true.
the
Very
levels,
true.
because I've lost a son. I have one who's still struggling.
Yep.
And I have one who tried to help the other two, my granddaughter. So it's not like, they use drugs and walk away from it. It's like, this is real, and this can happen in any family.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's huge. And to know that there's programs, what do you say, 98% relapse rate? But
97% of the folks will relapse. That don't mean they'll ruin their life.
that's right.
But it's hard to get it the first time.
But it was really important to know that if you do fail, come back. Don't just keep on going.
Keep trying. Don't give up.
So that, just
but
those
give them the
messages.
sources and the connection to the resources to keep coming back. Keep coming back fun.
Yes.
Glorify recovery. Glorify
Yes.
keep coming back.
Right.
Remove the stigma. Encourage. Make recovery the epidemic.
That is-
Make people feel proud of themselves.
Damn right.
That's perfect. Exactly that. Not like, he's in rehab or whatever.
No,
Like, it's like
that's stigmatized.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a good thing. It
Nice.
takes a lot of willpower, and to keep up with it is even harder.
I tried to say that earlier. I've never seen a family be this open, this honest, this raw, this close to burying your boy.
Mhm.
This is just incredible, man. This is a real moment here, I
It's his
think.
birthday.
Absolutely.
He's
Yeah.
here with us, helping us.
Yeah.
He wants to
Probably
get
drinking
this
a
out.
PBR sitting right there.
Mitch, what would you like to see change or come from this tragedy?
I mean, my head gets crazy thinking all the things that need to change. But I know one thing is just look after your people. Look at, reach out. If you see some shit or you feel like you need to say something, just do it.
So Randy you remember Mitch is going to say something now, okay? He see you messing up. You got to let him.
Because, I mean, even if they take that or not, you did something. And you can be that annoying
You
brother.
know how much
way
shit
out
I
there.
catch for saying shit to people, man? I mean, I'm in trouble every day.
Yeah. And you get shit for it, get out of my business stuff. But I mean, just look after your people. If that's the best thing that anyone can do. Look at the signs, because no one's ever done with this shit. So,
But that's a hard sign though, because I do know a lot of folks. They did die. They just are going to chip one time, not tell nobody.
yeah.
A year clean, 2 years clean. I think I'll just go get one for old sake, and that's the
That's
one
it.
that gets them.
And that seems like that was kind of what was going on with
exactly what happened.
Because I know both of them, and they were giggling like, "You get it,
Exactly.
you get it,
you get it.
you get it." They were
You
fucking
get it.
around, and that's that's why I've been so strong through all this one, because I know it was a total accident.
Yeah.
Well, that's as Americans, we're strong people. We don't ever, crumble in the face of danger or obstacles. We charge, man.
Yeah.
We go at it.
I felt pretty crumbly.
Me too.
That is true.
Well,
yeah.
I got
I mean,
trouble.
I still haven't processed it. I mean, I just don't. I talk about him in the present tense. I want to call him and be like, "Hey, it's just not."
We were
Doesn't
talking.
feel real yet.
We were talking before we started. I know a lot of young men and women, 17 years old, 16, 18. They lose their parents, and the way society looks at them sometimes, that isn't always good. They want.
It's a second in line.
They want
for
to
the
treat
same
you
thing.
like you're whatever. That's just crazy, man. I mean, I wish a lot of you teenagers, survivors, would start a recovery movement of your own. I think it's needed, and they may be out there. I just don't know of any here in Richmond.
I
But
haven't heard of anybody talk about it.
y'all got a movement waiting to happen.
I
We're
it's-
people too.
Yeah, I mean, just the way Lane's been talking about drugs and shit
Right.
growing up, like I see it in her. Like she knows her shit
Yeah.
because she grew up and saw.
She
like,
wasn't
right in the middle of
sheltered. You were given the truth. This is the deal. And now it's really a deal. Look, man,
Yeah.
you can die from this unexpectedly. And look at the ripple effect.
That
Look what it
honesty.
does to people.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
honesty that my brother gave her opened her eyes up to maybe not continuing this deadly chain of events.
and seeing and going through the bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
my
I mean.
mother, ever since I was a kid, right in front of me.
Fucking shit. Man.
I got Nick Pludre out there. He's inviting you on to if y'all want to come on my channel, Real Talk Recovery YouTube, I'll interview y'all. I mean, I think y'all should do it.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
We'll line it up. Nikki, just get with Todd. He's our director. Y'all exchange email. We'll hook you up with
Sounds good to me.
Cheryl here, and
Let's keep this train rolling.
and get you on the road, man. And just, all America needs to come out and start talking about this stuff. And
Agreed.
quit pushing it under the rug,
Yep.
man. It ain't going nowhere.
We'll put it out there.
And quit trying to wrest your way out of it. That ain't going to work. You can't legislate your way out of it. You got to actually listen to the people.
Yep.
Listen to people like Dr. DuPont, who's worked for 17 White House drug czars and 14 heads of DEA. He said the solution is with the recovering community. It's with the recovering people.
Right.
And even still, you're going to have a 50%, too bad rate, but we can reduce the harm by 50%.
That's a big
If we just value and support the recovering community. And that's a big, big hit right there. People will still die. They're still going to get addicted. They're still going to commit other crimes, but addiction shouldn't be the crime. Using shouldn't be the crime. User amounts of drugs shouldn't be a crime. When people pass away, they need counselors at the scene, not just, law enforcement being the bad guy. We got to do our job. That further traumatized you,
Yeah.
And that's just ridiculous, man. We know better, and we're not doing better, and that's what chaps my ass. You know what I mean? We got decades experience at this, and I'm gonna talk about it every time I get.
I just like the chap to the ass.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
No one likes a chat.
No. I used to get them in the Marine Corps sometimes. Man. You can actually really get them, man.
I'm sure.
But it ain't nothing worse than like swamp body when you're sleeping in the rice paddies and
God.
shit, man. You get leeches all over you. I'd almost rather have the ass chapping you get from cold weather than the leeches in the swamp, man. But that's a different topic for another time.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about healing here. There's many phases to grieving and loss, but this family, it's like you're hitting the street healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a healing component taking place right now. I mean, we clearly got two brothers talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're opening up the door for the reach out. Got the Lane, right? I'm going to remember these names.
My name,
Lane,
Dane.
Dane.
yeah.
It's like you're not going to take it laying down. You're going to be a woman of great character. I can see it coming. I see a future leader in helping other teens here. We want to flush that out and do something with that. Mom, there's just not many moms that just want to step into the jaw of danger with this as far as the emotional piece goes. And I got to remind you all, feel free. You got to grieve. You're going to have many moments. I guarantee it.
Lots.
Don't hold nothing in.
Does come in waves.
Yeah. Just you got to live it out. And like today's Lane's birthday, right? Dane's birthday is today, Overdose Awareness Day, and he's on the show today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would have been 39.
The man had to pass away from an overdose to be the star of the show today, so to speak. And the family wants to come here and honor him. This is big. This is huge, man. I've never seen this before, And I'm not saying that it hadn't happened before. So there's a lot of positive takeaways from this.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Because it's I just don't want to go into that path. It's like this needs to come up and be somehow a positive working thing that I, not the dark place I always look. Yes, that I can make sense of, something I can
grasp out and hold.
Be proud of. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing it, Mom.
He would have done it if he could.
Oh, hell yeah.
This shit happens to
he
good
is.
people.
Yeah.
It's here in spirit, man,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, he's why we're here.
Mitch, what's up, big dog?
Nothing. I'm just thinking this shit happens to good people, and to any families or anyone that haven't ever experienced it. It's like, oh, well, they're just loser drug addicts. Like, that's got to stop. That whole mentality's got to stop, because until it's your kid or your brother or your son, and you don't care till then we're not doing anything good.
It's too late.
So just talking about it, this is awesome. I mean, it's hard to do, but of course we're going to come do it because we think this is a good start too.
Yeah.
Just healing with us, and if anyone gets anything from this, then fuck it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
never give up.
Yeah. The human race needs to be more compassionate.
And look
about
after your
this.
people.
Yes.
Yes.
Watch them. Never stop riding their ass. in a good way.
Very true.
You know,
Don't push them down.
I feel like I do my best looking after folks, man. I mean, I don't know what else I can.
I mean,
do.
that was your calling, dude.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I just suit up and show
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and
You're the sunshine.
I mean, I'm
Cursing sunshine.
I shock myself sometimes with what comes out my mouth. Sometimes, did I really say that, man?
No, that wasn't me. Yeah. Hey, we got you on video, dude.
God damn.
It's a lot.
No, with your honest energy, I mean, it should. I don't know. You got good energy, and it's honest. And
Yeah.
we've all been attracted to you, and thanks for letting us
Yeah.
be a part of this mix.
We're a family. McShin is
Yeah.
a real family. I mean, we and there's many families like McShin all across America. There's so many good recovering people out there, so many good recovery groups. Even the ones that don't know so much and they seem to follow a lot, they're still good.
Yeah.
It's way more good than bad. That's why I'm always so shocked. We're still stumbling for, best policies, best practices, what really works. Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? It just amazes me that we know better. We just don't do better.
It's people honestly casting it aside because it's not about them. It doesn't contain them. And when it does hit them, then it's about them.
Well, even so, they're all paying for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather pay less money and get a better outcome than more money and a less outcome. It just doesn't make sense mathematically.
As long as we start just a little bit at a time, because
What-
nothing changes overnight.
Yeah,
So,
what you guys went through with just the opiate overdose, I'm guessing this year, 2020, there'll probably be 80, maybe 90,000 families go through this, because overdoses are up nationwide,
Yeah. And nobody talks about it.
big time.
Like,
Oh, well,
more than COVID.
it's not a juicy
Honestly.
subject.
and
you know,
suicide, yeah.
Well, you got, I mean, don't get me wrong. We got the elections, which is, you got to talk about that. You got Black Lives Matter going on, which is very
A lot, yeah.
important. You got COVID.
It's a big year.
The addiction epidemic was never really discussed. You might have heard about the opiate epidemic, but not the addiction epidemic.
Right.
Opiate is just a spike in an existing epidemic, just
Exactly.
like Valium spiked it, crack spiked
Right.
it. The true beast is the addiction epidemic.
Yeah.
And I said early on in COVID, I said, hell, that's the model they should be using for the addiction epidemic. Bend policies, change bad
Yeah.
policies, throw a lot of money at it, get anybody
Hell
involved.
Very true. I
What
said
the
same
hell,
thing.
man?
Yeah.
And you're right. Your kid could be next. There's actually, I think there's a 1 out of 5 chances this going to happen in your family.
Mhm.
1 out of 5 is pretty high.
Yeah.
You look at the amount of kids dying, the amount of kids that are available that can die versus the amount of families. I mean, that's a high number.
Yeah.
And whether you have an addict in your family or not, you're paying for bad policies.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we got a lot of work to do. I see Dale weighing in. My son died 22 years ago from an overdose. I'm cleaning sober 29 years. That's great,
Nice.
Dale. That's outstanding, man. You're doing great. Yeah, in the autumn, what we were just saying, if they talked about addiction like COVID, maybe the world would have a better understanding. Well, we're trying hard.
Yep.
Kimberly, 2019, jumped to nearly 71,000, a record high. And then 2020 going to be above that. So, I mean, it's not going away. It ain't going to get no better by itself.
No.
I expect to see the Canter family down here at McShin a lot, for activities, events.
Oh, yeah. We're all in.
Now, Randy, I'm always looking for new projects, man. If you would like to have the truth up your face a little bit more,
Boy.
you know where to find me. My office right below here,
Oh,
man.
they come to meetings here a lot. I used to when I was with True Recovery.
I'm inviting you
But-
to windshield time. You know what windshield time is?
Oh,
Windshield time is when a newcomer and an old timer ride around a lot.
oh yeah.
You
let's
up
do
in the windshield.
that. Yeah.
And I
No,
hope you like barbecue because I eat a lot. That's why I always say.
I'll do you one better. I'll make it for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's my deal. I'm a cook. So
I'm
I
a
can make-
certified barbecue chef.
All right, let's do it.
I got 3 smokers.
Is
man.
this a
All
cook-off?
All right, here we
I
go.
know, right?
It's on.
Came for the talking, now we're here for the food.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Now I'm
I was
hungry.
Yeah.
are you working full time now?
Yeah, I'm working at yeah, I'm working.
I'll get you a
I don't wanna name
one night barbecue cater gig if you want, man. I'm gonna
Give it to
have
me.
a party in my house in a couple of weeks. I want somebody to, smoke some meat to know what they're
yeah,
doing
let's
and
do it.
shit. think Brandon Novak gonna come. He's
Oh,
coming that
I've
night.
heard about that guy.
Yeah.
Just a few.
But well, he'll be in town. I want to do a dinner party for all the VIPs. And
Oh, that'd be great.
I want to do barbecue though.
I hope you serve.
Yeah, give me
There you
his
go.
number so I can give him mine.
All right, we're gonna have a hell of a party that night. I can see it coming. We got a few minutes. Anything we're not talking about, we should talk about. Mitch, start with you.
I don't, I think we did pretty good.
We covered a lot of territory, man.
Sir, I'm gonna need to know where your commode is. This has been great, and I didn't know what it was gonna be like coming into this, but I'm really happy we came. And
It was a good experience.
good experience.
You're glad you came.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're closer than ever, and I don't think anything's gonna change that. But yeah, man, look after your people. That's what I'm getting out of this.
I'm hearing that.
It's the baby steps, because it's not going to happen right
I
away.
watched a movie last night. It was I forget the name of it. It was about the Crusaders, how they went to Jerusalem, but the theme was look after your people. You know?
Hell yeah.
So that was timely sentencing. So Randy, anything we're not talking about? Are we covering about anything you can think of?
No, I'm glad I did this. It really broke the ice for this experience, and I want to keep doing this, and I want to do as much as I can, not only for other people but for myself. This makes paying it forward for being a recovering addict myself. I got to keep on this path to find, I guess, my own personal enlightenment. So whatever I can do to help with my mom and myself and this foundation, I'm all in.
Well, I'll tell you what, now you just set yourself up. Cause now
He
now
likes
I'm
hearing
gonna be
that.
expecting you.
Here's your work schedule.
Here's your recovery action plan. We can definitely put one of those together. Lane, are we anything needs to be said we're not talking about, or you want to share?
I'm just proud of him. Endless love for him. He was supposed to start his job the day after he died.
Wow.
He had an opening, and he was really excited about it. It was the first job that he's had since January.
Would you like to start some type of group for teenagers that lost their
I might,
parents?
honestly, yeah. It's just, I always had he'd been setting me up for that day forever. Always joking, like, when I die, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Dad, that's not going to happen. You're invincible. Like, you're, hard as rocks. Like, but he I'd like to think of him in like a happy, good place, and that I just want to provide as much knowledge as I can for him, for his sake.
Well, you're an extraordinary young lady, and I'm really proud to mention have you come on today. So
I give that credit to him.
I'm very that's another hidden gem today. Mom, have we anything we not covered or you like to talk about? Or
I really want to. The way this worked out was just amazing. We were talking, and then it just all came together, and it's so healing for me to be able to talk and have all of this, and I thank you for that.
Me too.
And we want to be more involved and get the word out, change some laws, tell me what I need to do.
put you to work?
Put me to work.
Same.
Well, I kill most of the people that come to work here.
Well, then you'll need some extras.
Right. Well, I just, this is just, I think it's a great healing moment. It's a great
It is.
educational moment. And then, I hope we're sending a message to people who lost loved ones. Yes, there's a tremendous amount of doom and gloom. There's so much pain. There's so much tragedy. There's so much suffering. Absolutely. But there is a pathway forward. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. There are things that you can do that can help, alleviate some of the pain. And I'm assuming this is one of those things.
Yeah.
And I think, if it's just more people could figure out how to be out there a little bit more, we reduce that stigma a little bit more, that can really make a little bit of difference in some future crisis. So I think this is a model for the future right here. I mean, this is an amazing family. Todd, you think we missing anything? We cover everything?
No, you're good.
You're good? Good. All right, gang. I got another father and daughter coming on tomorrow that lost their child a few months back. I know they just had her memorial service, and Dixie and Jay, what's his name? James, right? They're gonna come on tomorrow and talk about the loss of Savannah and how they're doing and whatnot. But Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st.
How about that?
Never forget it.
Never forget it.
No. Dane's birthday falls on this day.
Yeah.
The family's coming in here talking
That
about
is
this.
crazy.
This is how we celebrated his birthday.
This is it.
Yeah.
I was set up to have a pretty tough day, but I got to tell you, I'm leaving here
think
feeling
you
really
gonna
good.
feel a little
I feel a
okay?
little
You
bit
look
better
good,
too.
Mom.
Yeah.
You look good.
Well, thank you, my son.
You're glowing.
Yes, you do.
It's like that.
Nice to see you smile.
It's hard to believe you could have a decent overdose awareness.
Right.
Dane's birthday,
I'm
man.
sorry, but I needed something.
Right.
This is it.
Well,
And you reached out.
I
yeah.
did.
And that's reach out.
Well, you want to sing happy birthday to Dane?
Sure.
Can we do that?
Sure, let's do it.
We can do it.
Let's do it, man. And the reason I
Okay.
said that because we went to that
Because of the
memorial and they did it for a DJ. His birthday was Saturday, and we sang for him.
Let's do it.
It was a mess. We'll close out with happy birthday, Dane. Ready?
Yep.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dane. Happy birthday to you.
I love you, brother.
I love
More
you.
later, gang.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
How do you start a recovery community organization? How do you start a recovery community center? The recovery industry, as we know it, is an emerging industry, thanks in part to organizations like McShin, but recovery people everywhere. They're getting involved, and they want to know how they can maximize the outcome of their efforts. It's not for the meek at heart or the weak of mind. You got to have some real inward strength, fortitude, courage. Because it gets to be a day and night, 7 day a week, 365 day a year industry. There's nothing so simple about it. How to create awesome, authentic recovery community-oriented systems of care with whatever it is you're working with. We have, I think, one of the finest authentic recovery community organizations in North America. We have a 15,000 square foot recovery center, over 100 recovery beds. We're currently full-time in 3 jails. We've showed other local recovery communities how to percolate, emerge, and become good, awesome organizations. So, a lot to learn here, a lot of reasons to be part of this. So, later. Thank you very much.